All right. Can everyone can see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let's get started. So here's our agenda for this afternoon. So I'm going to have an overview of a modern workplace and, of course, Microsoft 365 platform. And we'll give you some time to ask questions. But if you have any questions, you can freely drop them in the chat box so we can answer them later on. All right. So in this time of pandemic, a lot of things has changed. The way we work, the way we do meetings, the way we collaborate and interact with our colleagues, right? So I remember last year when everyone was forced to work from home. All of us, some of us, I mean, needs to bring their computers from their offices and bring it to their homes, or they really have to bring the printers and everything. A lot of things has changed when the pandemic started, and we are really entering a digital age, right? And Microsoft's mission is to really empower individuals and organizations and help them with their digital transformation. And I think we can all agree that technology can amplify human ingenuity, right? So, of course, when we do our online meetings, there's this lack of warmth, right? Because we don't see each other, we don't see the social cues that I think is integral when we are collaborating or when we are communicating with our colleagues. But we can also agree that it's the people who are the driving force behind the progress, right? So it's not just really the technology. When we say digital transformation, we might just think, oh, it's more of a technological one. But in reality, it's actually improving the business process and really leveraging these tools to help us with our productivity. It's we, the people who are, who can easily adapt with the changing circumstances that are really driving the force behind the progress. And we all know that organizations will be permanently transformed by the pandemic, right? So a lot of things has changed with the simple click and with our on our fingertips. We can already order food. We can already, shop from online stores. We can do telemedicine consultation, online classes. Everything are online. So this is modern workplace framework and journey. So as you can see, Microsoft addresses every aspect of this framework and journey. And as an organization, these are the aspects that we need to consider or we need to take care of, right? So when it comes to identity management, we have Azure Active Directory, Advanced Threat Analytics, and Cloud App Security that will secure the identity. And we all know that passwords are the weakest link when it comes to identity access management, right? It's easy to, get the password and the username. So it's important that we have a solution that can verify the person's identity. So it's important that as an organization, you will enable multi-factor authentication. Next is we have device and apps management. As an organization right now, since most of our people are using their personal devices like their laptops, their mobile phones in accessing their emails, their company's data and files, there's this risk of compromising those data, or there's this risk of data breach, right? So it's important that we have management over our devices and the application and even the data that is being processed within the organization. So we have here Microsoft Intune for the mobile management or device management and even the application management. Next is, of course, your productivity and modern collaboration. So this is the most common one that we are already using, right? So these are your productivity tools such as Microsoft Teams, we have Outlook for your emails. Of course, we have the Office applications that are very familiar to us, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and of course, other applications that can streamline our business process. We also have a application called Power BI that will also gives you an insight on your data, simple as Excel files. And lastly is data governance and information protection. So we also have security solutions that can help you securing your data, and maybe they are in transit or they are at rest. So one tool or application that is really useful for us in this time of pandemic, or where work from home is really prevalent, is Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams is really a one-stop collaboration hub wherein you can meet with anyone and anywhere. So like what we're doing right now, right? So with this, you can now reduce email. Okay, instead of sending a lot of group emails, you can simply post messages on chat, or you can also post them in channels. It's easy for you to collaborate on your projects because you can easily upload your files and work together on the same document at the same time with your colleagues. You can also use this to make calls. You can use this as your cloud PABX, right? If you are keen on using Teams as a PABX, it's also possible with Microsoft Teams. So one feature, I'm going to show you some features that are already available with Microsoft Teams. So one feature is large gallery. So with large gallery, this can project up to 49 videos or frames at the same time. So it's easier for you to see everyone when they turn on their video. Another one is we have here a virtual shared space for meetings. So this is called Together Mode. So maybe later when we do our photo ops, we can try Together Mode. So Together Mode uses an AI segmentation technology that it will look like that we are in a shared virtual background. Another one is we have here a feature also of Microsoft Teams called noise suppression, especially right when we are working from home. There's a lot of noise, like dogs are barking, our kids are crying or shouting in the background, or someone is cleaning the room, or some are doing some renovations, right? So that could be distracting, especially when you're doing your meeting. So Microsoft Teams has a function or a feature called noise suppression. So to show you a video. So as you can see, you can just enable it at the settings under devices, and you can, customize the level of noise suppression. All right, so as you can see in the video, that it focuses the quality of the video on your voice instead of the background noises. So I think that's also a good feature here in Microsoft Teams. So we also have a feature called live captions. Microsoft really cares about inclusivity, so it makes sure that everyone can be included in the meeting, especially if you are someone who is deaf or have a hard time hearing. So we also have live captions wherein they can still know what's going on, because you can read what is being said by anyone in the meeting. So as an example, you can just turn it on during your meeting. So as you can see, you can start the live captions. And what's good about this is that it has speaker attributor, right? So you can know who is speaking. And we also have here a real-time meeting transcription. So some of you think, oh, okay, is there a way we can get a transcript of the meeting? No, it's hard to manually type the, for example, you have recorded the meeting, right? It's a hassle, or it's difficult if you're going to manually type what is being said during the meeting. So we have here a real-time meeting transcription that is already available in Microsoft Teams. So again, you just have to enable this so you can record and start the real-time transcription. So it's easier for you to access this after your meeting. So also we have here Whiteboard. So with Whiteboard, as you can see during your meetings, if you want to do a brainstorming session, you know, it's easier for us to visualize things if they are written somewhere like in a whiteboard. So
Hello, Ruth, you were muted.
No audio. You're muted. We cannot hear anything.
Hello, Ruth.
hello.
Yeah, okay.
You're back.
All right, I'm back. All right, sorry for that. Okay, let me go back. Where did I stop?
Whiteboard.
Our whiteboard. All right, let me go back there. All right, so as you can see again with Microsoft Teams whiteboard, right, you can do your brainstorming session. So yeah, as you can see, when we're doing our meetings, you can do your whiteboarding. You can add the sticky notes for you to illustrate or to sketch, and you know, just write down what are the things that needs to be done, or what will be the next step. So it's easier to do this brainstorming session using Microsoft Teams whiteboard. So if you also want to make your meetings engaging, right? So for example, you have, let's say, group kickoff, right? A company kickoff wherein you need to, you know, break down into small groups for group activities. So we also have here feature called breakout rooms. Really useful if you want to really engage your team and working in groups, right? So as an organizer, you have the capability to select how many rooms or groups you want to create. You can either assign them automatically or manually in those rooms that you have created. So you can rename the rooms. You can also assign participants if you want them to be grouped to a specific group of people, right? And you also have the capability to start the room, so people will automatically be assigned to the rooms. So this is the attentive view. So this is it. This is what it looks like when the teams are already in the rooms. And as you can see, as a moderator, you have the capability to post announcements. So for example, you have 5 minutes left, so you can do announcements during the breakout rooms. All right. Another thing is with Microsoft Teams, you know, it's easier to collaborate or, you know, to edit your documents with other colleagues, right? So you don't have to attach them on emails anymore. You can simply post them in your Files tab here in Microsoft Teams. So you have an option to open them in a Word or edit in Teams, or if you really want to open it in a Word desktop application, you can also do that, and you know, you can do co-authoring, or you can also share the document that you have edited. And you know, Microsoft Teams is really integrated. There's a seamless integration with other Office applications. So for example, is you can integrate this with Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Teams. So for example, you receive an email and you want to share that in your team, right? So you don't have to copy paste. You can just click share team and of course, click share and it will automatically be posted in your Teams channel. As you can see, this is an example of a seamless integration between Outlook and Microsoft Teams. So we also have the capability to integrate other applications aside from the Office application. So we also have here called Power Apps. So Power Apps is a low-code application development platform that is available in Office 365. So if you want to create applications from scratch, or if you want to develop an application to streamline your business process, you can also integrate that with Microsoft Teams. So you can also use Power Automate. So Power Automate is also part of Office 365. So you can use this to create workflows, or if you want to automate simple or complex tasks, you can use Power Automate for that. So for example, when you post a document in SharePoint and you want it to be routed for approval, you can use Power Automate for that. So as an example, so this is an example of Power Apps in Microsoft Teams. So as you can see, there's a workflow going on in the background for this to be sent for approval in Microsoft Teams. So that's how easy it is to integrate other applications in Microsoft Teams. Another thing that I would like to talk about is about security. So it's important that we enable our users for productivity, but we must also take into consideration about security. So we want them to be productive without compromising the security of data of their devices and of course, again, their identity. So we also have a security solution here called data loss prevention. So as you can see with data loss prevention, so here's an example. So someone is typing their credit card number. So as you can see, this message was blocked because this is considered as a PII, or personal information, or a sensitive information. So you can also do that in Microsoft Teams, and you can also apply that in your email or Outlook. So it will prevent users from sending out sensitive information outside your organization. So we also have, capability to protect sensitive information. So it can be on the site level or team level. So as an example, so here's an example of creating policies wherein, for example, this user is going to protect information that is really in relation with investment banking. So as you can see, there are 692 documents, and you can also edit the permission level. So as you can see in Microsoft Teams, when you go to the Files tab, it will automatically label all the sensitive data. And again, it can automatically identify those documents that contain sensitive information. So you have the capability to apply these policies on Teams or on SharePoint. So we also have here the capability to block malware with safe documents. So this is available in advanced threat protection. So as you can see, this user received an email with attachment. And when that user received an attachment, all right, so as you can see, when that user enabled editing, right, so it actually has a malware. So this file was already encrypted. But if you enable safe attachments or advanced threat protection, all right, So if ever the user receive a document that might pose a risk in the user, so that will prevent the document to be open and uh, uh, to be available to the user. So it will already block that document that has malware. So again, we also have the capability to automatically label the document. So that's another solution we have here in Office 365. So as you can see, this document contains a credit card number, and since it was identified or detected on the document, this document was already labeled as confidential and finance. So it means that since this is confidential and under finance, only finance people can open the document, even it was mistakenly sent to the HR, to the IT department, or anyone outside this group, they won't be able to access or view this document because this was labeled as confidential under finance. So also, you know that there's a lot of links, a lot of phishing emails that are going around right now. They're taking advantage of people spending more time in emails and online. So we also have anti-phishing and safe links here in Office 365. All right, let me just show you the video for this. All right, so as you can see, this user received an email. Okay, it seems a legit email from someone that person knows. So when that person click the link, it will not automatically redirect on the phishing site, right? So it will automatically detect that site is not safe. So it will block that site using the Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection capability. All right. So yeah, so far that's what we have here in Office 365. And I just would like to show you, let me just show you here. So this is Office 365 portal. So as you can see, again, Office 365 is Microsoft's cloud-based subscription service wherein you can access all this application in a single platform, in a single view. So we have all the applications that are available to you once you have the correct license. So one example that we have here is you can have Microsoft Teams, we have SharePoint, you already have OneDrive that has 1 terabyte of cloud storage per user. We also have here SharePoint. So this is an example of a SharePoint site. So SharePoint is your organization central repository of documents. You can also use this to as an intranet site. So as you can see, this could be a landing page for your users wherein they can see all the news that are or the announcement inside the organization. You can also use this as, again, a document management system, right? So for example, when I go here in the resource plaza, so a lot of users are keeps on asking, what do you have the latest document for example, for filing reimbursements, or do you have the latest form or document for filing leave, and so on, or whichever document. So you can have a central document library or repository of all those documents kept here in SharePoint, right? So it's easy for your users to access these documents, and you also have the capability to add columns or metadata that can add information on your document. So there's a lot of things that you can do here in Office 365, in SharePoint, and Microsoft Teams. If you want to know more, please do not hesitate to reach ARC1 or us so that we can help you on implementing and really help you with your digital transformations.